Initially, I ran out of primer, so I went straight into the foundation. It is an Essence foundation in the base of 20, and I applied it all over my face as quick as possible. Do not put it on your eyes because it's bad for your eyes and your eyes have primer. Then you put it down your neck and onto your chest because that's also the area I will be working in. I then got a stick foundation and applied that all over my face because I really wanted to have a bold look today. I didn't want to have just a natural mermaid look. This is a bold special effects makeup body paint kind of look. I then got my nude powder and I put that all over my face and down my neck. I really wanted to make sure I had a lot on there because I wanted the makeup to stay on for a long time. I then got my Flawless AC contour kit and I got a shade of brown and I put that from my sideburns down my cheek, underneath my cheekbone, and buffed that out with a buffing brush. Just the average contour for your cheekbones. And then I went on to defining my forehead, where I rimmed my forehead with the same brown, and it really gives it a more defined forehead and a more Photoshop look. I also defined my jawbone and contoured a dark brown underneath there. I got the lightest shade in the AC contour kit and I put it along the ridge of my nose, on my chin, under my eyes, on the cheekbones, just above the jawbone, and on the forehead. Just the average contour. I then got the nude shimmer from the palette and I put it along my cheekbones to give my cheekbones a really shimmery and alive look. Then it was sponge and paint time. So I got my white face paint, I applied that to my forehead with a sponge. I buffed it out as much as I could and then it started blending with my foundation, which I didn't like. I then went on with a paintbrush because I didn't like how it was blending in so much and I wanted the white to be a lot more bolder. I just wanted the edges to blend out. So I went down onto my cheekbones and I did a bit of a widow's peak with the white on the forehead, and I was liking how that was looking, and all I had to do was blend it out with my sponge on the edges. However, when I did start blending it, the face paint had already dried and it was leaving a bit of a line and blending in again with my normal foundation. So I just left the forehead for a second and I went down onto my cheekbones and started doing my cheekbones and just above my eyebrow, and that was turning out how I wanted to. It was blending in really nicely. So I did both of my cheekbones. So I then started going back to work on my forehead and it still really wasn't even working out and it was just annoying me. So I went down to work on my cheekbones again because my forehead and my eyebrows and everything was annoying me and my cheekbones were not annoying me, and I want to avoid anything that's annoying me. So I tried to use different brushes for my forehead to see if I could blend that, and then I just wrecked it. So I took it all off and I started again just on my forehead, and the face paint started to work a lot better against my natural skin rather than having the foundation there, and it started blending in really nicely down my nose, my cheekbones, and my forehead was looking exactly how I wanted it to look. I then got a white shimmer from Essence and I applied that all over my white, where I just put my white face paint to really give it an aquatic look. I then chose the colours of blues and green to work with because I thought that really resembled the ocean and the mermaid kind of theme I was having here. I then rimmed my hairline with some blues and greens because that was the colours I was going for, and I buffed it out with a big brush. I then got some darker blues and blended that into my hairline to make it look like the colours were really coming out of my hairline. And I then worked on my temples to give my face a real structured aquatic look. And then came the lovely fishnet stockings. So you put this over your whole face and you stretch it tight, otherwise the technique won't work. And then you get the same colours you were working in before, and you can either brush it or pat it into your face, and you work from your cheekbones where the white was up to your temple, and you do this on both sides. Try to stick to the darker colours being at the bottom near where you contoured with the brown.
Meanwhile,
then you put a lighter green onto your forehead, along the ridge of your nose and on your chin to give it a real T-zone effect, and voila, some lovely fishy scales. I then blended some more because I felt like it needed to blend down, and then I went onto my eyebrows where I got a electric blue lip gloss to use as the base to hold some eyeshadow powder later, and I defined my eyebrows with this blue lip gloss. I then went on with the electric blue eyeshadow over the lip gloss to really give it a blue effect and not look like any of my real colour hairs were coming through. I then used the same electric blue lip gloss down my nose to contour, and after that I put the same electric blue eyeshadow to really deepen my nose and give it that extra photoshopped contour. I also contoured around the bottom of my nose where the nostrils are to also give it some more depth. I then went onto my eyes and I defined my eye bone, and I really didn't want to do it in the socket with these blues. I really wanted to keep it out of the socket because I was putting white in there later. So I went in with some electric blue and then some dark green, and right up next to my brow I put some light green in there so it ombre'd out. I then thought that I lost a bit of blue during the process of adding colours, so I put some really dark blue just on the edge of where my eyeshadow was, and I blended that in towards the inner corner of my eye, but I just kept it on the outside so I didn't go past my pupil. I then got some eye primer to hold the white eyeshadow, and I packed on some white eyeshadow to make the other colours really pop out. I then got some really dark electric blue and went under my eyes and followed that with some black eyeliner. I also created a cat's eye in the middle, which I was really happy with, obviously. I did my top eyeliner, blended that out to where it was really dark at the dark blue on both eyes. So after my eyeshadow, it was time for some jewels, where I got some tiny little rhinestones, and I placed 5 along my nose and 2 on the inner corners of my eyes where the cat eye look is. I then got some black eyeliner and I gave myself a freckle-like effect along my cheeks, just under my eyes. I also applied this effect on my temples, on both sides of my face, and also just above my jawbone and a little bit along my jawbone, just to give a sort of aged effect and to also add more detail to the work, because I thought it was looking a bit plain and it needed something a bit bolder. Oh, and I also did my widow's peak as well with this black freckle effect. Sadly, my camera stopped working for the bodywork, but I just used eyeshadow and white paint to create a gilly and highlight my bones. So I went on with some eyelash adhesive, and while I was waiting for this to dry on my eyelashes, I got some Maybelline mascara. I did both the top and bottom lashes. I then got some white eyeshadow and applied that to my bottom lashes because I didn't have any spare fake lashes, so I wanted to have a really bold effect on my bottom lashes. So I applied white and then black back over the top again. I then attached the 2 ears I made with some bobby pins and made my hair look really stringy around it while it was oily, and it turned out really nice.
So this is my completely finished mermaid look. I was really inspired by the NYX Mermaid tutorials for the 6 finalists that go and compete. So I did this based on my inspiration from them pretty much, and I know I'm really surprised. I'm really happy with the techniques that they gave me, and I learned. I'm really happy that they put on there and they allow people to use their techniques, and it's made me really happy. This is my mermaid inspired look. I've made these little things out of toilet paper, glue and hairspray because I don't own no liquid latex or any of that. Hopefully I'll get some soon. I'm really happy with the outcome of this. I've also a lot been inspired by Ellie Max. She's a great, amazing SFX makeup, and hopefully one day I'll be able to be that good. So I was really inspired by her and her work. I'm also really inspired by the makeup artist Patrick Starr. I think he's so fabulous and his work is amazing, and I just want to say thank you. So overall, I feel like the makeup products aren't important. As you know, I made these out of tissue paper and hairspray and glue. You just sort of look at something on the road or in your room and think, how could I use that? Could I make a pattern out of that or something like that? But that's what inspired me to do mine today. Yeah, so I hope you guys like this. Hopefully I'll get another one up soon, and I don't know what to do. So if someone wants to give me any ideas or feedback or whatever you think, just hit us a comment. Bye!